Hello, this is Sherman Blackwell, and welcome to today's program presented by Singing River Mental Health. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'd like to share some recent information that we received from the World Health Organization concerning mental health issues not only locally but around the world, obviously. And I think it's of interest, and of course, part of the design of this program is to bring information about mental health issues that may come from a political realm, may come from a medical, a therapeutic realm, wherever we feel like issues are important. And we believe that every issue concerning one's mental health is vitally important. And as everyone knows, a mentally healthy community makes for a healthy community, and so we attempt to do that, and we continue to tout the 40-plus programs that Singing River Services offers and has offered for 35 years in our area in Jackson County. And those programs are viable today. A few weeks back, I talked to you about some funding issues regarding people who are the Medicaid issues in the state of Mississippi. And to give you a little synopsis about that, that has not completely gone away, but it seems to have been postponed for a little bit. I think it is still critically important that everyone who has an interest in the mental health of someone that they know or that they love, or someone who suffers a mental health disorder, should continue to contact their legislator, their representative, their senator, statewide and on a national level regarding funding and people being able to be served with their mental health issues. I think that's critically important, so very important to have a freestanding outpatient mental health clinic. As many of you know, many people, when it comes to like the hospital, or hospitals not only here but everywhere, more and more people are using the ER or the ED, emergency department, for their primary care. And that doesn't exclude people with mental health issues, but a lot of people have been and continue to use that as their primary caregiver instead of having a outpatient facility such as Singing River Mental Health to come to and to get services that we provide. Much of our funding comes through the Division of Medicaid. We have some grant funding and a lot of funding that we have certain unfunded mandates that we take care of, and a lot of people don't, people that are not able to pay don't have to pay for their services. And we think that whether someone that pays or doesn't pay, we still have some of the most quality, caring, giving professionals in this region. And I think there are many people that you can talk to outside of Jackson County who would tell you about the individuals that work at Singing River Mental Health and how they care about the people that they serve. And one of those primary care things that we do is the number you see on your screen there. That number is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is our primary main office number that is there if you would like to call and need some information or to inquire about something. That number is available. That same number is our crisis line number. That someone answers that phone and gets you to a mental health professional, whether that's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. And so one of the reasons, of course, we bring this program is, and to get the word out, is about the services that we provide at Singing River Services. Recently, I received some information that I'd like to share with you. I think it's important. I think it's good information. When it comes to, and this program that we bring is different, of course, than many other programs you would see, and most any other program that you would see on this or any other channel, because we deal with a specific issue, and we deal with an issue of mental illness. And when you talk about mental illness, it's not, everybody doesn't want to hear about that. They don't want to necessarily talk about that. It'd be nice to have other, where we could talk about a lot of different things, but that's not the design or the intent of this program, and that is to educate as best we can and bring you information regarding mental health issues, both locally, as I mentioned, and globally, because it affects us one way or the other, and a lot of people continue to be affected by a unsure economy, by the state of that economy. Jobs continue to be lost, by and large, for a large part of our nation. The recession that we're in these kinds of things obviously have their stress and their toll on individuals and families, and that's why we want you to know that we have information available to you, and we would be glad to share that to you. Very recently, the World Health Organization, of course, this is across the globe where they took this information, discovered that they state now, the World Health Organization, with more than 1 in 3 people in most countries report criteria for at least one diagnosable mental health issue in their life. The World Health Organization said that primary diagnosis in 1 in 3 individuals would be now anxiety. Anxiety was the most common of all of the maladies concerning mental health on a global scale, followed by mood disorders, and then substance abuse and impulse control disorders. And so we found that quite interesting. When you talk about anxiety, I think we live in a kind of an anxious time in our nation, in the world. Volatility seems to be a lot of different places, and here again it strikes home when people can't make a paycheck or they have difficulty in their relationships. And so anxiety is one of these things, and so we wanted to bring you that information. A review of the anxiety disorder, the World Health Organization goes on to state, in different countries found that a lifetime prevalence estimates that as many as 16.6% of all people at some point in time are going to suffer with a diagnosable anxiety disorder of some type. The U.S. National Comorbidity Survey that was just recently released, and I think this is very, very important information because it brings it home to us, reports that nearly half of Americans, 46.4%, meet the criteria at some point in their life for either an anxiety disorder, 28.8% mood disorder, 28.8% for anxiety disorder, 20.8% for mood disorder, impulse control 24.8%, and substance abuse 14.6%. When we talk about a nation of 300 million individuals, that's pretty alarming, and that gets pretty close to home. Let me give you that info. This is the U.S. National Comorbidity Survey. These numbers: 46.4% of Americans meet some criteria at some point in their life for one of the anxiety disorder, mood disorder, depression, those kinds of things, impulse control, and substance abuse. These are pretty striking numbers in my opinion, and these are recent numbers, which I think is indicative of, here again, of the things that are happening in our nation, some unsurety, some lack of confidence, and for lack of a better word, in our society and our governing and whatever that may be. Of course, Singing River Services has always been an apolitical organization. We serve people from every walk of life and are interested in all people who need and are concerned with the issues involving mental health issues. We think that's very, very, very important. And so I brought several brochures today. I was on my way out and I couldn't get them all. We have, of course, brochures for every aspect of what we do, and this is not even a fifth of them, and about information concerning our Stevens Center, concerning our case management programs, concerning our clubhouse programs, our children's services, and on and on and on. It has so many different, we have so many different programs that we offer. The reason I brought these, of course, to tell you that we'd be glad to get you a packet of these brochures. We'd be glad to, this information is readily available. You can call and we'll get this in your hands, or you can come by our central office at 3407 Shamrock Court in Goshen. You can call the number on your screen there. You can get in touch with us that way, and we'd like to share some of the information available that we have available to you concerning the kinds of things that we're talking about. We have pamphlets we'd be glad to share with you absolutely at no cost to you, to get you this information so that you or a loved one or someone that you know could be better informed about the services not only that Singing River offers, but the kinds of things that can be done in regard to one of the issues that someone may have regarding a mental disorder. And we just know that it's very important. We like to educate from the front. Also, we deal with a lot of issues after the fact. We deal with those issues, but we try to do prevention, and we do a lot of prevention in the community, and education we feel like is an important part of that. And someone can identify and get the information and know, if at a minimum, who to talk to, somebody to talk to. And when we come back, I got some more information that I'd like to share out of the World Health Organization. I want to talk about a couple of other things that are happening this fall. And so when we return right after this break, we will pick it up there. Hello, this is Sherman Blackwell. Thank you for joining us today for the second half of today's broadcast. We appreciate so many of the nice comments that we received from so many of you that tune in. We are delighted that mental health is an important issue to so many people, and I know that many parents and spouses and friends, family members, caregivers that are out there feel the same way. And the issue, of course, that surrounds any type of mental health disorder is many times the unknown, beginning with the stigma and just the history of how mental health issues have been treated over time. Brings a lot of people with an uneasiness about a mental health issue. Many people think that once someone has a mental health disorder, that they stay with that disorder for the rest of their life. That is not so. Do many people, do some people have serious chronic mental illness? Absolutely. But the important thing here again is about educating those that would be interested. And sad to say, many times we don't get interested until it affects us or affects a family member or someone that we love. And then we want to get interested pretty quick. And so this is an attempt through this program and through the information that I mentioned on the first half of the program, that we have so much information, some 40 different programs at Singing River, and that we'd be glad to share, educate, and answer some of the questions that you may have about a particular mental health issue. And for years, as I mentioned, there has been a certain stigma attached to mental health issues, not the same kind. You don't find a stigma with other types of illnesses, but you find it with mental health illnesses because here again, people don't know how to respond many times in a situation like that. They don't know what to do about that. It's unknown to them. Sometimes it's not easily corrected or maintained. As with other type of physical problems, because mental health issues primarily is an issue about the brain getting sick. That disorder, that the brain can get sick just like any other part of the body can get sick. And so there's certain stigma that's attached to that. And in the first half of the program, I was talking to you about some information that the World Health Organization has put out, and pretty alarming information, I think. And then also the U.S. National Comorbidity Survey stated that 46.4%, or nearly half of Americans, meet the criteria for some type of mental health issue. That's pretty alarming. So we think it's even more acute that we attempt to get information into the community. And as it comes to the stigma of mental health issues, of course, perception, historically, there's been a discrimination against individuals with mental illness because of the stigma that's associated with mental disorders, and some people believe here again that people can't recover from a mental disorder. Not everyone, absolutely not. They can be maintained, they can live a lifestyle that is positive, even make contributions to the community. The U.S. Surgeon General stated, and I quote, "Powerful and pervasive stigma prevents people from acknowledging their own mental health problems, much less disclosing them to others." This is the Surgeon General's comment that was made about the stigma for mental health issues. As I mentioned to you, there's a prevalence that seems to be continuing to grow in that area. What is at the root of that? There are a lot of things, many things, but primarily it is just that. It is an illness, and the scientific community, along with the medical community, is working very diligently to work, to assist, to direct, to stabilize many individuals with mental health issues. We are just closing out our 8-week day treatment program that we had this summer, where 200 and some odd children were continued to get the services that they needed, even though school has been out and school's getting ready, of course, to start back again, and to continue in a structured environment to help them continue to grow and to develop and maintain those positive behavioral modifications that they have made. And so we're excited. I want to say thank you to my staff that worked very diligently this summer to get this done. Debbie Brockaway and her staff did a great job. That's a challenging job during this time of the year, and my hat's off to them. Let me tell you, coming up here in a few weeks, we're going to be having our National Depression Screening Day, where we're going to, here again, forward, you will be out in the community. We'll have a couple of spots that we'll be in, and people can come by and get information and talk about what to do. Somebody may be saying, well, you know I'm depressed. Well, a lot of people, many people are, and the wonderful thing is that there's so many things that you can do to thwart that depression and to overcome that depression. We have great medical staff. There are a lot of great physicians, great healthcare system in our community that can assist you not only at Singing River, but all of these other places can do that as well. We're going to be taking part in that day. Here in a couple of weeks, I'll be attending on the Advisory Council for the Alzheimer's, Division of Alzheimer's for the Department of Mental Health, and that is a growing issue and concern, and we're going to be at a conference for that in the next few weeks, going to that, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you back some cutting edge information along those lines. Kathy Van Cleve, who is over that department, and her staff, we had planned to do something that hopefully this fall, if not shortly after the first of the year, to set up our own mini kind of convention, if you will, in this area, so we can talk specifically about Alzheimer's this fall and how important that is becoming to caregivers and family members. We're going to get some education not only about Alzheimer's but about dementia. Also this fall, Dr. Mark Yeager, who is the director of TEAM, who is really an authority on autism spectrum, and he is going to be having we're going to be doing a DS with him, and the possibility and the probability of a camp with him this fall. He puts on Camp Kaleidoscope. It's a known fact that 1 in 150 births will produce a child that will have some autistic spectrum issue. The last time I talked with Dr. Yeager, he said he saw some data that's coming out, said that may be the next hit may be as many as 1 in 90. So Dr. Yeager is going to be with us in the fall. He's going to be talking more about that and bring a full fledged team and a lot of information about autism. And when we talk about children, we can't help but talk about families, and families that are, of course, the crucible of our society, in my opinion, and children, having had children, and as many of you watching have children, many of us know that they don't come with instruction pamphlets. Many times the only guidelines we have are the generation that was in front of us, which can be a very positive thing, or sometimes we don't have the ample tools when we talk about children and raising them and how they do. Of course, someone told me the other day that they thought that my children did pretty good with me. It got me trained pretty good, but in all seriousness, we at Singing River offer free parenting classes. It is at our MacArthur Street office at 4507 MacArthur Street in Pascagoula. And this is a class that takes place, it's parenting class Tuesdays from 5:15 to 6:15, and you can come in at any time. You don't have to wait 8 weeks to start. You don't have to wait 6 to get in or anything like that. You can come. It's absolutely free to the public. It's information that we think is vital. 8 weeks. Not that there are not plenty of good parents out there, but it's like in anything. Many times what we have nowadays, we have grandparents who are the primary caregivers, and maybe even great-grandparents or aunts and uncles. A lot of blended families and a lot of issues that come up from that. A lot of single parent families that need some help. Just some guidance. It's not that there's great revelations, it's just that sometimes many of us just need a little direction and to feel like we're not alone and feel like we're kind of doing the right thing, and it's just like in anything else. And I think that as valuable as our children are to us and as valuable as they are to our future, that is a very important part of what we need to kind of hone our skills on. You can call the mainline number that you see at the bottom of your screen, and we're glad to get you more information about our parenting class. You can also call our MacArthur Street number, and someone will give you some pertinent information about that. That's locally, of course, 696-0030. That's 696-0030, and someone will be able to get you some information there, either Linda Bradley or Debbie Brockaway. And they do an excellent job, and as the whole staff over there, everyone at our children's department do an excellent job. Well, I want to say thank you for joining me today. And it's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you and to share any bits of information that we have concerning mental health issues. And I know for those that it's important to, that it is important. And so we're looking forward to having a more information coming out, and we're going to share that with you. This is Sherman Blackwell. I certainly do appreciate you tuning us in today. Remember, the number you see on the screen is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm going to look forward to seeing you again next week.